Shalom chaverim, banot vebanim, and welcome to another very special episode of the world's #1 Jewish podcast. Today, we are set to embark on a BJJP first. But before we do, I have to ask for a small favor. As an independent show, we don't have a massive marketing machine behind us. Our growth is purely organic, fueled by dedicated viewers and listeners like you. So if you would be so kind, please take 30 seconds, head over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify, find this show, and leave me a 5-star rating and a short written review. I love seeing all of your thoughtful and generous feedback. Some of it has even made it onto the show and may again. And as of this recording, we are just 8 ratings away from hitting 500 on Apple. Crossing that threshold would be a huge milestone for us. It's a small mitzvah on your part, but it really is the fuel that allows us to keep these amazing conversations going, so thank you in advance. Unless you don't leave a rating, in which case you're a butthead. Okay, as I said, BJJP first. Today's episode will not take place on a set or in a theater, as every other episode of this show has. Instead, thanks to my incredible partners at JBS, the Jewish Broadcasting Service, where you can find new episodes of this show on your TV every Thursday night and then some, we will be off-site today, on location, on my guest's home turf, because this particular place is as much a part of the conversation as my guest is herself. The where is Harlem, New York's historic uptown neighborhood that has been home to so many African-American cultural institutions over the past 100+ years. Today, we're going to step foot into one such institution with a decidedly Jewish twist. Tsion Cafe is America's first and only Ethiopian-Israeli restaurant, though it nourishes the community through far more than just delicious vegan kosher food. It is the beating heart of the small but mighty Ethiopian-Jewish population here in the West, a hub for gathering, learning, storytelling, bridge building, and joy. And the heart and brains and soul and spirit of the place is its proprietor and executive chef, Beejhy Barhany, who has made it her life's mission to share her story, her people's story, and her passion for Ethiopian Israeli culture and cuisine with the world. I've been hoping to have Beejhy on the show for a long time as an ambassador of the Beta Israel community, but unfortunately, a heartbreaking recent turn of events accelerated my outreach, bringing a new sense of urgency, and subsequently me, to the door of Tsion Cafe. As of just a few weeks ago, Beejhy made the painful decision to close the restaurant to everyday dining due to the persistent anti-Zionist hate and harassment she and her staff have been receiving for years, especially since October 7th. While Tsion remains open for private dinners, casual diners will no longer be able to gather in its small but exuberant dining room, which is precisely where Beejhy has generously invited me to join her today. So grab your winter coat and come with me as I journey across the country to check in on Tsion Cafe for a little taste of the Ethiopian-Jewish experience with its preeminent American emissary, the one and only Beejhy Barhany. Hey guys, I am here in the Sugar Hill area of Harlem, uptown New York City, on my way to Tsion Cafe, just up the street. Really excited, never been here before. It's long been on my New York bucket list to eat, and now I'm gonna get a little private tour, a little conversation. It's gonna be awesome. Here we are, Tsion Cafe, and let's go inside, shall we?
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Beautiful mezuzah.
Yes.
So nice to see you again.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me here. Beautiful. This is, so I saw this on the outside. And
angel.
Tell me about this angel. And it's like, that's other places, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of angel. Our motif is Tsion, spirituality, angel. We're feeding, everybody is an angel. That's the
I love it.
Overall description, yes.
This is a great space. It's so colorful.
And we have books here celebrating the diverse type of, going from W.E. Du Bois to the book about Malcolm X, some books in Hebrew, the two Zions,
How much are people sitting down for a meal and grabbing a book?
A lot.
Yeah?
A lot of people, yes. It's quite interesting, all of this mix of the different cultures and what have you. And actually, this particular book was completed here
Whoa.
at Tsion Cafe because Malcolm X worked as a waiter here throughout the Harlem Renaissance, long time ago, the 1920s and 30s, where it used to be Jimmy's Chicken Shack. So there's a lot of history here.
Wow.
Yes.
Is there anything left over from Jimmy's Chicken Shack?
There is a plaque that we just put here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, to honor those people who walked before us.
That's this over here?
Yeah, so,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Just a couple people you might have heard of.
Right. Charlie Parker, Malcolm X, Red Fox, Art Tatum.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get our conversation started, but there's like so much beautiful, interesting art everywhere. Anything you want to highlight before we get going?
Sure. I mean, this is actually a special drawing that was done by one of my employees. Unfortunately, my mom never had the chance visiting Tsion Cafe. It was just a vision that I told her I want to open. Unfortunately, she passed about 10 years ago after I opened, but she never came. And when I got the news that she passed away, this, very considerate and loving person, this artist, her name was Lily, she used to work here. She drew the picture and brought it to me as an anniversary for the first year. And since then, my mom is here with me, protecting me, watching over me. And over there is my grandma, a portrait of myself, yes.
Hey.
Yep.
Looking like a boss.
Well, I guess I'm trying to be a boss.
All right, should we take a seat?
Sure, let's go.
Lead the way.
Yes, we're going to the bar, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like some coffee?
Yes, please.
All right.
What are we drinking?
We drinking an Ethiopian espresso. You want to have a nice, rich, flavorful espresso for you.
I love Ethiopian coffee. I actually drink a lot of that at home. I don't know what it is about it that it tastes so good, but it's definitely one of my go-tos.
Well, Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
It is. That's where the origin come from. So that's why you love Ethiopian coffee so much.
It's the OG.
Yes, we are the OGs. Gonna
thank
give you
you.
right here.
Beautiful.
I'll take one for myself.
Please. Cheers.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
הרבה בריאות ונחת. Much health and prosperity.
Does the space feel different now that you've had to close the doors to daily restaurant life and now it's just these sort of special events? I mean, is the feeling different in here?
Of course, the quietness, the stillness, but in a way, I think is necessary sometimes in life. There was all this rush running. We have done that for 11 years. All of a sudden, you have to take it easy, reset, think of something different. Tsion Cafe was built to nourish the community with delicious flavors of the Jewish diaspora in a way, because I'm not only Ethiopian, I grew up in Israel, so I was able to eat malawach, shakshuka, and jachnun and all of that stuff, and couscous. That's my upbringing, that's part of my identity, and I wanted to bring it to Harlem, the hub of Black culture, the hub of Black excellence, to be part of it and contribute to the community, and we have done that. Unfortunately, by us serving shakshuka and malawach, for some people, it was an insult, right? It's funny enough, there was a review for the last 5-6 years online on Google that came out just after the whole commotion in media, and it says, I can send it to you, it says, stop using malawach and shakshuka is neither Jewish, neither Ethiopian. And that particular person is hiding behind his screen or computer without ever meeting me why I'm serving those particular dishes. This is the question I ask, why you are hating because I'm doing that? What's the problem there? Is it because I'm Jewish? Is it because I'm Black? What is it? Yeah. Why don't you come and talk to me and learn a little bit why I'm doing that on my menu? So that was constant phone calls and name calling and coming and shooting. And
what do you mean coming and shooting?
They will say like, we're going to come and shoot you all.
Oh, not actual shoot, but threats.
Threats to come and shoot.
To your face?
Not on the phone. On the phone. This is all cowards.
No one's showing up and saying this.
Right.
To you.
So what's the difference between the KKK and those types? It's terrorizing people without seeing their faces. Same thing in a different form. In any case, even the swastika on the front, I think you can see it somewhere on the awning.
I didn't notice
see
that.
It's been sitting there since 2003 of August.
You left it.
I left it there. That's part of who we are. That's the mark. And after a while, it become a burden that you're like, goodness. Dealing in a restaurant industry is not as easy. On top of it, to get all of this layer, you're like, what's in the world do I need this for? Let's just do some thinking, reset, and really do something different that we can control the environment. Whomever want to come and engage, we will teach them about the rich flavors of Ethiopia and beyond, and teach about Jewish diversity, and break bread together, and educate and celebrate one another.
What about shutting down from the daily grind? How is that a deterrent for the people who are, calling you and harassing you?
It's not a deterrent to them.
Yeah, like how does it stop? Like how does that change your situation so that it's more manageable for you?
I don't need to deal with it on a daily basis. You never know who's calling and to harass. That's what it is. It's just kind of cutting some layers from the struggle and hustle. And it's stressful too.
Yeah.
Who want to deal with this?
Yeah.
I'm here to serve food, and yet people are bringing politics that are happening across the pond, somewhere there. And because of my affiliation of being Israeli, they do not know my political view, whatever I went through on what is overall of the current situation, but yet they're going to say, you are contributing to the genocide, you're a colonizer, all of that stuff is like, God, this is just never ending.
I read that the hate accelerated not because of the war even, but once you became a fully kosher restaurant, things ratcheted up. Is that accurate?
The harassment were there, regardless. And
even before October 7th?
Before October 7th.
So it's not even about the war. It's just they're harassing you for being affiliated in any way with Israel.
Whatever it is.
Okay.
We don't know. We never met them. I wish I could see their faces, right? October 7th happened. It was really heartbreaking to see, especially in Otef Aza. This is the area where I grew up. I grew up in kibbutz Alumim in the south, not from Be'eri, Nachal Oz. This is literally my neighborhood in a way. Growing at kibbutz, working in the avocado fields, in the chicken coop, all of that, the carrots field, we used to see Gaza just like that. So it hit home. It was very devastating to hear that, especially when people are attacked in a music festival. Go figure. Yeah. Anyway, and for me, the only way I could think to amplify my Jewishness or, whatever you will call it, was I wanted to be the good Jew, or whatever it is. I wanted to make the place inclusive, yet to be kosher. For those people, the Jewish people, never had Ethiopian food. Now I want to make it kosher so I can cater to them as well. That was the intention.
Yeah. And
that kind of backfired in a way. All of a sudden, it even worse. Oh, she is a Zionist. She is this. Phone calls. Out of the blue, random. This guy, I was, shocked. He calls, is this the Ethiopian Tsion Cafe? So are you the Zionist? I'm like, yeah, we are. We're calling Tsion Cafe. Come and eat. It's a public place.
Yeah.
But are you the Zionist? I'm like, what in the world? You have nothing else to do in your life? You see?
Yeah, get out of it.
To that level of, do something else. Why are you calling me, harassing me? And it kind of add up. And, a lot of stuff, immigration, ICE, everything just, people start fearing, being scared to be coming even to work.
Coming to work here.
Yeah. So to that level of, why do I need all of this? It's not safe for me. It's not safe for people. Feel uncomfortable. So might as well, let's control the situation. And here we are today, hoping really to launch a pivot, still to celebrate the flavors of Ethiopia, Jewish diaspora by dialogue and food and nourishment.
What's been the reception from the neighborhood? Because, I mean, you've been here over a decade. I'm sure you have regulars, you have neighbors, you have friends. Have they been supportive? Have they been silent? Have they come to your defense? I mean, what's it been like?
Harlem is home. Harlem welcomed us with open arms when we first opened. And Harlem been going through a lot of changes. The people that I serve since we opened and after COVID is not the same people that came now. They are not the same people that are passing around and, you know, they are calling themselves woke. Whatever it is, to me, is not woke. You are numb. These are the newcomers to Harlem that they think they can fix the world. And there is a lot of guilt, maybe. I do not know. I'm not going to go to politics and history, but it seems to me that there is a guilt here and you want to blame somebody else. You want to point your fingers at somebody else because you can, oh, maybe I'm doing that too. So how can let me amplify my hate towards that people.
Right.
That's the way I see it, but I keep it at that.
Yeah. Have you ever been able to have a conversation with any of your haters?
I wish I could.
Nobody's willing.
I would love to. The name on that review, I would love to meet that person and see. Let me talk. Let me meet you and see, what it's all about.
Yeah.
You had a grudge with the Israeli boyfriend or girlfriend or something? What is it? Yeah. Why are you kind of putting it on me? What's the deal?
Let's shift away from the bad and go to the good.
Yes.
Why is this place called Tsion Cafe?
Tsion, Zion.
Yeah, why call your cafe Zion?
Why not? From a young age, my ancestors for thousands of years been yearning for the return to Tsion, Zion. And for me, as a person who grew up upon those stories and tradition, yes, we made it to Tsion, Jerusalem, but yet I came here to Harlem and created my own Zion, where I can welcome anybody from any walk of life and engage with them over food, story, and tradition of Jewish food, Ethiopian tradition, and what have you. That's my Tsion. I always say we might be in the West by my heart. Our heart is always in the East, which is where it's Tsion. That's what we yearn for. All Jews throughout the diaspora, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would think. I don't know.
You've now said like a couple times like what the mission of this place is, the nourishment, the connection, the sharing. Why is that so important to you? Like that's your thing. Like why is that the thing?
That's what I was brought up in. That's the culture I was brought up in from ancient time. From back in Ethiopia we immigrated from Ethiopia to Sudan and then Israel. Mm-hmm. Food is a common ground, is a universal language that connects us all. Once you are willing to break bread with somebody, try their flavors, you are willing to engage and learn more about them rather than the biases or stereotypes or whatever you have about that person. For me, food is really a great tool to engage and learn about culture, people, community. So I want to utilize that to engage with people that using hate. Let's break bread together, one bite at a time.
The Ethiopian community in America, I was learning about this, actually a pretty large immigrant community here, 300, 400,000 people. But of those, the Israeli Ethiopian community, very small, only a couple thousand, it's like less than 1% of all the American Ethiopians.
Yes.
What about New York excited you that made you want to, be a part of this teeny tiny minority in this big old place?
When I first came to the Americas, it was 1996.
Good year.
It's after the army, you work in some, places, you save some money, and you come to travel.
Right.
My destination was taking a backpack, coming to the Americas. Came to New York, loved what I saw. The diversity, the different ethnic groups, the different flavors. I'm like, oh my God, this is heaven. So many people from all over that, we have it little amount in Israel because we are diverse from all over, but here is even bigger.
Sure.
It was like, goodness, I hope to be part of it. And that's what happened. I left, travel, going from the Machu Picchu in Peru, a whole year.
Wow.
Even went, did the Inca Trail, all of that.
That's so cool.
Spent a whole year, kind of finding myself. And of course, New York, Harlem did, stayed right there in my back of my mind. And I wanted to come back and be part of it. That's basically what happened, the charm.
You are from Ethiopia.
Right.
You're part of the Beta Israel community. Who are the Beta Israel?
The House of Israel
Yeah.
are ancient Ethiopian Hebrews that adhere or practice the Old Testament for thousands of years, millennia.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, people will ask me, so how did Ethiopian Jews arrive there? We always have to remember that Jewish diaspora, we've been exiled, migrating for many years through our different conquerors, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is it believed that we actually arrived in Ethiopia at the time of King Solomon Makeda. So King Solomon from there had a child with Queen of Sheba. I don't need to tell you the stories, but he fell in love with this beautiful Ethiopian woman who brought him gold and spices and myrrh and all of that stuff. He even tricked her to go to bed with him. He gave her spicy food and whatever. It's a whole, you can read the story there.
Okay.
But he had a child with her, the name Menelik. She got pregnant, went back to Ethiopia, and then when he was born, when he reached 18, he asked her, who is my father? And she told him, you are the son of the wisest man on earth, King Solomon. So he said, okay, I must go and visit him. He come to the land of Israel, I guess. They say there was a resemblance between him and his father. Some people bowed to him because they thought he was King Solomon.
Wow.
And the Israelites didn't like that and say, okay, we don't want your son here. You have to send him back where he come from. And King Solomon says, okay, this is my elder son. If you have to leave this country, all your elder born have to leave as well. So the elder of the Canaanites, the Levites, and all of them, of the Israelites left and took with them the Ark of the Covenant, which is believed still till today is in Aksum, northern part of Ethiopia. So we come from there. We come from the tribe of Dan. It's a lot. People migrate, intermarriages, so that's where we are.
Sure.
But the fundamental question is, though, to me, within the Jewish world, I find that oftentimes we are focused on, you are different than I, so are you legit?
Still.
Why is that? Why do you care?
That's still a question that people have legitimacy?
Yeah.
Even though it's been officially legitimate for how many, 50-something years. People are still having conversations about it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Why we are not celebrating unity and bringing the different unique cultures of each ethnic groups, because Judaism is very diverse.
Yeah.
We come from all parts of the world, all different complexion and shades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's no one look, one DNA, one whatever it is. So we are different. The same, you'll see it in Christianity, Islam. I don't know. I don't know how it goes there, but there is any questioning of your legitimacy of being Jewish, you see? We are focusing on that rather than celebrating the beautiful diversity that we have.
Who's focusing on that? Like, where are you hearing those questions coming from? Which community, which spaces?
It's all over. From the moment Ethiopian Jews, for example, arrived in Israel, there was always this doubt of, are they Jewish? Prove your Jewishness. And yet we can go count 7 generations, who is my great-great-grandfather, to find this is my family and I cannot intermarry with them. Right? And go back to trace to the tribe of Dan, even to the King Solomon or Moses. Which I didn't tell you actually, when Moses killed the Egyptian taskmaster.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Of course, part of the Passover story. Coming up
Where
soon.
did he fled to? They say he fled to Midian.
Okay.
That's what they taught us, that's what we believe in, right?
Okay.
But there are many interpretation and understanding as well. Actually, according to different sources and Sefer HaYashar and Midrashim, he actually fled to Ethiopia. And he ruled there for 40 years.
Ruled? Moses did?
Moses did rule there for 40 years.
I thought he was a shepherd.
Whatever it is, and married an Ethiopian princess. So God knows. Let's do our research. That's what I heard. That's what I know.
I never heard that story.
That's right.
They didn't put that in the Prince of Egypt movie.
No, they didn't. Why is that? Let's be more inclusive.
Yeah. I still want to drill down a little bit on like when Ethiopians first arrived in Israel, I know that there was, as you've said, they weren't ready for black Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard you say that. So I know then. But that was, 50 years ago. But clearly it's still a present conversation that you're feeling. People are still sort of questioning the legitimacy and focusing on that. Who are the people? Like, is this online? Is this in your community here? Is this in Israel?
I am in a book tour.
Right.
I interact with a lot of communities and I talk to the point where, I'm here to talk about the Ethiopian-Jewish tradition and culture. And here you go, is like, oh, do you know what is hamantashen? I'm like, what in the world? What is it? Is it defining your Jewishness by eating hamantashen and Purim or anything like it?
But they're asking it in a way that's like a test more than it is just a curiosity?
I think it's ignorance. This is Judaism. This is what I know. And this should be the norm. But it's not the case. My norm is a bit different than yours. So I will never question anybody, how you Jewish. I don't care. You say you're Jewish, you're more than welcome, you're my brother. But that notion, we have really to be cautious or conscious of thinking that this is my way or otherwise, but nobody is really good enough for whatever it is. So that's another element or layer that I find within the Jewish world, that things are not, one way or the other. There are many ways to practice Judaism. When we arrived in Israel in the 80s or 90s, we never heard of Reform Judaism or conservative. Right. It was unheard of.
Sure.
Now it's part of the norm.
Right.
So you see, things evolve, things change. So we have to be open and receptive to see this is not only one set on stone and this is it. And there is many ways to practice the Hebraic tradition.
Sure.
Yes.
How did the Beta Israel really not know there were other Jews until like the 1900s?
We always believed we were the only.
I know.
The only
but
Jews.
It lasted so long that you all believe that.
We believe
that part's
that,
crazy to me.
So, for example, in the 16 or 1700s or what have you, medieval time, different scholars or rabbis approached or wrote letters. They questioned them. Who are you? You don't know. We don't know if you're Jewish.
Who's saying that the Ethiopians were saying that to them? Like, who are you guys?
Yeah. We know who we are for
right.
millennia. We don't know who who are you? Especially, I think there were some Jews and scholars from Italy and Vienna and all of that stuff. And it so happened that through travels and trade, I heard of the Jews in Kush or Chabash. Of course, we were close very much to Yemen as well. We didn't really encounter pale-skinned Jews. We didn't think they exist, but because we didn't know. But we do not go and discredit them, right? Yeah. We say, wonderful, so you are. Prove that you do such and such and such in terms of the Torah, the tradition. And after that, you say, you know what? Okay, we are a lot more diverse. So it goes vice versa. We need really to be open. Yeah,
I just find it crazy that we got, for thousands of years, there was no knowledge of one another. It's wild to me.
If you're anything like me, and I'm assuming you are since you like my show, you probably care a lot about giving to causes that are important to you. But sometimes the logistics of charitable giving, when to give, how much to give, what the tax implications might be, can be overwhelming. Or you don't really think about it until suddenly it's the end of the year, you're filing your taxes, then you feel rushed to make a big decision before a deadline. But fear not, my friends, there's a solution, and it's called a donor-advised fund. And specifically, I want to tell you about the Jewish Communal Fund, or JCF. Here's how it works. You can contribute money or appreciated assets like stock and potentially maximize your tax benefits now, but then recommend grants to charities later when you're ready. So instead of scrambling at the end of the year, you can give more thoughtfully on your own timeline and support any IRS qualified charity that matters to you. And what I really like about JCF is that their team provides white glove support to help simplify the whole process, so your giving can be more strategic and more impactful. They also do something really meaningful. Every year, a portion of JCF's revenue goes towards grants that support the welfare and security of the Jewish people, both in the US and around the world. So if you want your giving to be less stressful and more intentional, it's definitely worth checking out. You can learn more or open your fund at jcfny.org. That's jcfny.org.
So I know that the return to Zion, such a central dream of the Beta Israel community, how much was that felt as sort of this mythical dream, and how much of this real thing and place and thing we're going to do?
the whole, aspiration of the land of honey and milk, returning to the temple, rebuilding the temple. This is stories that's passed on from generation to generation for hundreds of years until finally there is this awakening, right, of the return. Even in the 50s or 60s, there were a group of dedicated Ethiopian Beta Israel that wanted to fulfill the same exodus that the Israelites did from Egypt to Israel. And they went and perished on the desert before the major known, Alioto, journey of Ethiopia.
God didn't hook them up with manna and water from the rocks.
Unfortunately. And still that notion of going back was there until the time was right. So literally, communities, if it's in Tigray, this is where I come from, northern part of Ethiopia, we speak Tigrinya there. They organized 300, 400 people and literally wanted to started a journey on donkeys, horses, wagons, and literally walking from Ethiopia to Sudan. And eventually to make it to Israel. That's the reality, dedication to make that with all the hurdles and danger that encountered throughout the road. I'm just making it very easy and light, but it was treacherous journey. For example, one anecdote that it's actually in the book. I was 4 years old when I left Ethiopia. The elders within the community, they hire guides to show us the way and all of that stuff to make sure we're not stopped by the authorities and things like that. And unfortunately, the guides led us to the wrong direction where we were anticipating for water and there was no water. And there, myself, actually, I was on horses riding with my grandma.
How vividly do you remember all this?
They will tell me those stories and it kind of engraved within me for many years to come. My aunt would tell me she carried me in her back because I was so exhausted and tired. And to the point where I told her, Auntie, just take me off your back and bury me here. To the point where I'm like, you can't, don't worry about me. I'm not going to make it. That is the dedication of my community, myself. I know hurdle, I know difficulties. So that's the reality.
Wow. So obviously for you and your generation, it was a reality. But like for your parents growing up, was it just this sort of, land over the rainbow that like they never really thought they would get there? Or was it really like, a concrete thing even before there was a state of Israel to get to?
Before the state of Israel in 1948, there was a relationship between Ethiopia and the land.
There was? Yeah, of course.
Many years. And actually, there were traders that will go there and bring some letters and all of that stuff. In a dream, hopefully we'll make it, right? For my parents, it was become kind of reality because we had cousins and relatives that immigrated to Israel, a little bit, maybe in the 50s, 40s when Israel was young. They traveled from Yemen through the Red Sea and arrived in Eilat. But at that point, they were not recognized as anything, no identity whatsoever. They were considered refugees. But their determination in sending letters to us, to our families, that what kind of created the spark and the movement for the journey in Aliyah. And then villages started organizing. Yes, it is the time. Let's go.
You went in 1980, is that right, when you started to go to Sudan?
We left Ethiopia in 1980. It took us about 3 years. We stayed in Sudan because of bureaucracy and all of that stuff. In 1983, I finally made it to Israel. My journey was quite different. Many times you'll hear about Operation Moses and Solomon.
Yeah, this was before that.
Way before that.
Yeah. Were you leaving because we want to go to Israel now, or were you leaving because there was so much conflict and famine and tumultuous times in Ethiopia after the emperor was overthrown?
We left before the famine. Emperor was thrown in 76 or 77, I believe.
According to ChatGPT, 74.
Mengistu Haile Mariam, a dictator, kind of terrorizing the people of Ethiopia, regardless of Jewish, Muslim, or Christian.
Yeah.
He was terrorizing, and anybody that was educated, teacher, mobilizing the community was a threat. And I had those cousin families, for example, my cousin Farada Aklum, he was a teacher or a leader within the community. He was a target, right? And it felt unsafe.
Yeah.
The political situation is unrest, even though it didn't impact that as much, but it was coming. They started recruiting to serve in the army, and they're like, So, and there was already plans to leave. So it's all kind of came
together. It was like, all right, it's time now. Let's go.
It's time to go. Let's get out of here.
And I remember reading that while you were on this it takes months to walk to Sudan on foot.
About a month plus, or a couple of weeks on horses and donkeys and wagons.
But you all kept Shabbat while you were on the journey.
Yeah,
That's
look
amazing.
at that. Shabbat is the queen that protected us throughout our journey.
What do you mean?
For me, Shabbat is a sacred day. When we were on a road from Ethiopia to Sudan, because of the not strictness, but the spiritual connection or the faithfulness of my community, that even though it was a danger, to rest and have a welcome Shabbat and rest and eat food, they nonetheless decided to do so because they say Shabbat will protect them, right? And she did, and we continue on a journey. That is the beautiful connection, a spiritual connection that you cannot really fathom, the resilience of it. You're willing to die in order to observe Shabbat. That's beyond description to me.
Is that what it felt like? It felt like you were taking a risk of your life to take that pause?
To me, yeah, that's what it looks like. Imagine, the people on that patrolling the border met us, but it so happened they didn't. You see, that's the magic, unseen magics that protected us. So I call Shabbat queen because she is the queen and God is the king. That's the day that we're given to the people of Israel to rest and reconnect. I try to be a good Jew and not to do as much work on Shabbat.
Yeah.
You grow up in that mentality and in that practice, which is very much orthodox. You either observe or not. There is no in between. But nowadays, you're in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
You see that at the end of the day, if you're a good, kind person, a humane, that's what counts. Not eating kosher, non-kosher, that's what counts to me. That's Jewish to me.
I agree 100%.
And respect to others.
Yes. So a lot of the Beta Israel community was oriented around this dream of returning to Zion. And then so many people did. So then okay, we did it. It's like, now what? So what's the new dream? What's the new purpose?
The dream is fulfilled.
I know. So what does that feel like? What does that mean?
But you see, unfortunately, that dream was kind of slap in the face too. That reality, that dream you anticipated for.
It wasn't Mashiach.
That wasn't it. Because, we are in the land of Zion, Tsion, Yerushalayim, but it wasn't. It was, of course, joyous moment, exciting to be, united with fellow Jews, but yet we were not embraced with open arms.
Right.
There was racism, there were questions of our Jewishness, and stuff like that. So you didn't feel like, the homecoming wasn't homecoming anymore.
What did that look like in real life? Was that classmates being, racist to you? Was that you're hearing stuff from your parents? How did you experience that discrimination?
Well, first of all, they never saw Black Jews before.
Right.
Vice versa, we never saw them before.
Right.
So it was like, you, back and forth.
Yeah.
And then, gradually you learn to live together, interact, learn the language, but it's always a matter of, if we don't know, you don't think anything exists beyond what you know, and you start questioning it and naming it and all of that stuff. One of the things, for example, within the Rabbanut, for example, there was this question mark, they are not really Jewish. So they have to go through conversion. That did happen.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought in 73, the chief rabbi was like, they're legit, they're in.
Ovadia Yosef.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, that is where they say the law of return. Jews are Ethiopian Jews are brothers and sisters from the tribe of Dan. They can come, they have the right.
Right.
Yet. But yet, there was a doubt. They are really fully Jewish. In order to become fully Jewish, they have to go to the mikveh. And for a lot of people, some people, without knowing, they went through that. They didn't know they were converting. Once they figure out this was actually conversion to Judaism,
right.
They're like, we're not going to go dive into.
We don't need to do that.
What am I converting to? From what?
Right.
So that's what it is. So it was a lot of really mixed emotion, betrayal, anger, You feel not belong in a way. But at the end of the day, what I see is over 40, 50 years now, the integration, and there is still racism in Israel.
Sure.
We need to do our work for better unity, respect, and understanding, but as well. Also, we are humans. I'm not justifying that, but there is always this tension, hate, bigotry, biases, you name it,
sure.
Right?
Every country on earth has ethnic tensions.
But what makes us as Am Israel, we are the people of Israel. Let's not focus on judging on the color, shape, practice. Let's unify and embrace and celebrate our differences. That's what I would like to see.
So you're already in Israel before Operation Moses, Operation Solomon. What was that like, seeing this influx of your countrymen arriving by the planeful?
It was joyous, happy to see that more Ethiopian Jews are able to fulfill the Aliyah and immigrating to Israel. But yet, in a way, they don't know what they're coming to. They don't know what's waiting for them. It's not going to be easy and stuff like that. In terms of language, all of that, practices. We manage is over 120,000 Ethiopian Jews in Israel, even maybe a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken. Contributing to the fabric of Israeli society, dedicated, loving, this is home.
Yeah.
With all the difficulties and that are there and hurdles, we are here. We are Jews.
Have any parts of the Talmudic, rabbinic Judaism that were separate from the Beit Israel, have any of those elements, have you adopted any of that into your life since you've lived in Israel and in America, where that's more mainstream?
Sure, mainstream Judaism, here we go, normative Judaism as they call it, whatever it is. So, for example, oftentimes we hear that Ethiopian Jews did not know of Hanukkah and Purim.
Okay.
Again, this is a notion that has been circulating or, and discussed many times. But yet, that's what Western European, Ashkenazi did. That's the way you practice your Hebraic tradition, wonderful. But what it is we knew of the story of the Maccabees.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, actually, Ethiopia is the land that was able to preserve the book of Maccabees 1 and 2 and added to the canon. And afterwards, it was translated and brought to the Jewish diaspora, one. As well, the book of Esther, the story, Megillat Esther. Remember, they never wanted to add it to the Tanakh too, because she was a woman, all of that stuff. It took a while. But we knew of the story and of Esther and Achashverosh, Mihodu ve'ad Kush. Right there, we're there.
Okay.
We might not eat ham and tashin, but we knew the story. So it doesn't really qualify me if I'm Jewish or not by not eating ham and tashin, but I know the story. So
that's interesting. I didn't realize, I had thought and been told that story was unknown to the because there was such an isolation of. So, I mean, if you knew that story, then didn't the Beta Israel know that there were other Jews elsewhere in the world?
So this is a lot of research and think that worthwhile really diving in. What was known, what known, unknown. To me, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's
Where
interesting.
Where does this come from?
Yeah.
Because I think in the land of Ethiopia, before Christianity came, on the 4th century, there were paganism, Hebraic, Old Testament practices. It's there. It's been there. So why is the notion of all of a sudden this information that floating and saying, oh, they didn't know that, they didn't know that. Why? Let's diving in and really bring everything, the truth to the light. I would love to do that. If anybody is interested, that would be lovely to research and go to the archives that are hidden everywhere.
Yeah. You're giving me more questions than answers. So you mentioned this word earlier, Gersha. Mm-hmm. It's the name of your cookbook, critically acclaimed cookbook, and it's central to what you do here at Tsion Cafe. What does Gersha mean? What is that?
Gersha is literally taking a morsel of food. You take the injera, you take a little bit of chicken, dorowat, you can do a little bit of cabbage, or gomen, or shuro, you make a nice bite, and you feed it. That's Gersha. That's a bite of nourishment, showcasing love, friendship, and respect. That's
so nice.
Gersha. And that is extension. Gersha, the cookbook, is literally the extension of Tsion Cafe. We've been doing it for over a decade, and I wanted to bring it out there to the world for them to learn about the recipes, the tradition of Ethiopian Jews, the resilience, the resourcefulness. When we first arrived in Israel, how we managed really to make injera for the first time, even without the grain of teff, all of that stuff. It's a lot of information. It's not only recipes, it's a lot of resources to learn about Ethiopian tradition, history, and culture.
What makes Tsion and the menu and what you serve here Ethiopian Israeli food versus just Ethiopian food?
Every other Ethiopian restaurant, you would never find melawach or shakshuka or fool or anything like it. This is the food that I grew up eating, and I wanted to share it with the world. That's my unique niche aspect of who I am. I'm not the regular Ethiopian. My style of cooking or everything is influenced by the different flavors and places that I have been. So that's the difference. And of course, overall, Ethiopian general and Ethiopian food is not much really of a difference. It's the same. Mm-hmm. You see, it's very much the same. The base is injera and you have stews. But the stews are, for example, we can talk about red lentil, misirwat, right?
Okay.
And it's so Hebrew and ancient that goes to the time of Jacob and Esau.
Wow.
Do you remember the story?
Yes, that's right. Okay, that's the soup that Jacob makes for Esau, the stew.
Yeah, and he lost his birthright.
Right.
We go to that, and this is beloved dish in Ethiopian tradition. Wow. It was probably infused with berbera, cumin, cardamom. So delicious that Esau couldn't resist and lost his birthright.
My last question, and then we'll take it to the kitchen, is did you have a culinary background before you said, I'm opening a restaurant? Or you were just like, I cook all the time at home, I'm going to do it and give it to people in a restaurant?
That's correct.
That's it.
I grew up with my grandmas, my mom, and my aunties, helping from peeling garlic on onion. That's where I grew up, what I saw. And then basically, I know I can do it. It's basically coming to New York, having Shabbat dinners in my apartment. It kind of grew. Every Ethiopian Israeli that came for the first time to New York, they were like, can I stay by you for a day or two? And then we cook and we feed and that kind of evolved. And I said, I never worked in a restaurant before. I'm saying it here.
Yeah.
But I said, I can do this. And here we are.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's prove it. Let's go to the kitchen. We'll taste a little something.
This is a little sample.
All right, BJ, what are we making here today?
This is a really quick bite called sambusa.
Sambusa.
Yeah, it's a pocket, appetizer filled in with spiced lentils. It's nice as a street food or quick bite with some alcohol and wine. And we're gonna do that.
That sounds good to me.
So this is all, made here.
What kind of flour do you use for it?
This is actually a tortilla flour. Oh. We borrow from whatever is around us, and we innovative, resourceful. So rather than taking a filo dough or what have you, we decided to use tortilla. After all, we in Harlem. Yeah, many ethnic groups might as well borrow something. So that's what we do.
Okay, tell me, the one Ethiopian Jewish dish I've heard about is dabo. What is dabo? Tell me about that.
Dabo is the Ethiopian challah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What is it? How's it different?
It's a bread that is a celebratory bread made to welcome Shabbat or special occasion. Usually it rises up here. It's round.
This big?
Yeah. You either can bake it in a pot.
Whoa.
In a pot. There's a few recipes in my book, but it's delicious. You can infuse it with a little bit of aromatics, such as coriander, cardamom, and a few more other stuff. It makes it nice and earthy. Not the typical bread, but if you want to make it sweet, get a little bit of honey, and you have a delicious bread to make kiddush with, welcome Shabbat, or special occasion. So that's our dabo.
And I know you also make a couple of other Ethiopian food products that you sell.
Correct.
What do you make?
So we make our berbera spice, and we have our hot sauce. This is our CPG. We're trying, to venture out a little bit and be creative.
What's the hot sauce called?
Awaze.
What does that mean?
Like hot sauce, that's the term.
Okay.
And that is the brand. And we have even injera chips.
Oh.
Yeah, so we will show you.
Is that a traditional thing, or that's something that's like a modern day version of injera?
Innovation.
Cool.
That is, you want to not waste your injera. You toast it in the oven. They become nice and crispy, like pita chips.
Right.
And it's very nice, and you can season it with stuff. So we have that too. So it's all a matter of evolving and find different way to incorporate our delicious tradition and flavors. Let's see how our sambusa doing.
Yeah.
So this is our sambusa. They're becoming nice and golden. And this is actually ideal if you want to incorporate this recipe part of your Hanukkah frying deal.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, incorporate some Ethiopian sambusas. And after that, when it's nice and ready, you will eat it with hot sauce, which is this one, the awaze.
This is the one you make?
Yeah, we make it here. It's infused with a little bit of honey wine. It's quite nice.
Honey wine?
Yes, which you're going to try as well.
Oh, yeah. Speaking my language.
Yes, now we're talking.
Yeah. Other than dabo, are there other specific Beta Israel only, Ethiopian dishes?
Since Pesach is around us, it's around the corner. Back in Ethiopia, we make our own matzahs.
Yeah?
And you can make it from teff or any other flour. There is actually a recipe. And the Beta Israel community will make their matzah throughout the week. You do not buy this hard cracker manischewitz. You make your own. So I wanted to introduce that to any people, any person that want to make their own, yet gluten-free and nice and soft. So
it's like a soft matzah.
Soft matzah. That's what the Israelite did. They didn't have this cracker. No, I'm sorry.
What about for sigd? Are there any traditional dishes that you make for that?
For sigd is people will make a special beer, or they will make honey wine, mess, or edge. One of the ancient drinks of the god, as they call it, pure honey. For that, or people will slaughter a goat or a lamb, whatever at their disposal. And of course, you make a delicious dorawat. With that, you will make dabo. So it's a very, and according to the season, if there is gomen, which is collards or cabbage, array of whatever is seasonal and abundance within that particular region. Yes, I think our sambusa are nice and crisp. Yeah. We are busy talking. There we go. We can take them out. L'chaim,
yeah.
Do you eat hot food? Spicy food?
Me?
Yeah.
I love spicy food.
Okay, and then you're gonna have it with some honey wine.
Sounds good.
I'm ready.
We're ready. I'm gonna have this samosas right here.
Thank you.
Can I pour you some wine?
Certainly.
Yes.
Thank you. Love a little afternoon honey wine.
Yeah, a little bit of taste. I'm gonna do a tiny bit for me.
Smells good. L'chaim.
It's very subtle.
Very subtle.
Light.
Yeah, delicious.
Careful, spicy.
Oh, I can handle the spicy. No,
right.
You don't worry about me.
Go for it. Crunch, crunch.
Love the crunch. Delicious.
Enjoy.
I am enjoying.
Okay, let me take one as well.
I'm not gonna double dip.
That's okay.
I'll do a pour. Fill the pocket with more hot sauce.
pretty good.
If I do say so myself. All right, folks, for the next part of this conversation, I'm gonna get into it with BJ with my 5 deep questions as we continue to enjoy these. If you wanna hear this next part of the conversation, you gotta join my subscriber-only community, our Kehillah, which you can do at beingjewishpodcast.com/community. If not, we'll see you on the other side. If you heard that sound, that means we just finished 5 deep questions. You can see I'm many samosas deep now. This wine's almost gone. It was a great conversation. I urge you to check it out. BJs, we're getting towards the end here. Something else you've done in, all your free time with everything you're doing, you established BINA, the Beta Israel North American Cultural Foundation.
Right.
BINA is also the Hebrew word for wisdom or understanding.
Knowledge.
Knowledge happens to be my wife's chosen middle name. When she converted, her Hebrew middle name is BINA. Weekly shout out to Courtney. Tell me what it is and what do you do?
Oh, when I formed BINA Cultural Foundation 2003, it was to bring an awareness on the mosaic of Jewish diaspora. We've been in a situation when I first came in the early 2000s here, I've been questioned. What I mean by that is, as a typical Jew on a Friday night, you go to a synagogue, and apparently me and my friends look a bit different, the overall landscape in that particular synagogue. And this lady asked us, so are you working for somebody? Yeah, that's the only thing she could think of.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
Yeah, so let's be more open. Let's not be judgmental. You don't know who is who. If a person is coming to a synagogue, apparently there is a reason why he's there, because he's a Jew.
Yeah.
And let's not ask them questions because it feels uncomfortable.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
You want to feel welcome. I mean, clearly this is a big theme of our conversation today.
You don't want to be interrogated.
Yeah.
Give it some time to warm up, and then we can engage on a discussion and questions. Let's be more humane and not, that's why I formed BINA, is really to spread knowledge and understanding. And we did that, again, I did that through food, Shabbat dinners, film screenings, panel discussion, and that grew. We're still there, small nonprofit organization. It could be elevated more, but that was the first beginning of encouraging for celebration and inclusion within the Jewish world.
Amazing. As I love to do, and we're going to end with a little game.
Okay.
This one I'm going to call, Where in the World is Beejhy Barhany? Where in the world is Beejhy Barhany? And where in the world is Beejhy Barhany? I'm going to describe something, and you tell me if it most reminds you of Ethiopia, Israel, or America.
Okay.
Okay? A table of old men loudly arguing over coffee.
I think Israel.
A grandma feeding you until you're physically uncomfortable.
Ethiopia.
Everyone has an opinion about your life choices.
Maybe America.
I don't know. Where you can find spiritual meaning at 2 a.m.
Israel.
I figured. Someone greets you like your family even though you just met.
Israel.
Who's got the best dancing?
Ethiopian.
Oh.
We can shake it.
Yeah. The best hospitality.
Ethiopian.
The best flirting.
Flirting. I mean, you could do American, but you can do Israeli too.
Okay.
It's really is mixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most stubborn people.
Oh, Israelis. Hard-headed.
Best dressed elders.
I would say America. Yeah, quite cool. Yes.
The best hugs.
Oh, in Ethiopian culture, there is 5, 6, 7 kisses. I'm sure I'm going to get that when I go back. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. That is
that's
love.
Nice.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Hardest place to keep a secret.
Maybe America?
Where does saying goodbye take the longest?
Within Ethiopia and Israel too. They won't let you. They're going to keep kissing you and talking, yes.
BJ, thank you so much. It's been so great. Thank you for welcoming me into your space, feeding me with your delicious food and drink, and enlightening us all. It's really been a pleasure.
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time and energy and coming, spending some time here. It's really greatly appreciated. Much love.
All right, I'll see you all right back here for the next revelatory episode of Being Jewish with me, Jonah Platt. Where in the world is Beejhy Barhany?